larger than 75% are in a group. However, the distribution of the date of the volume is much more spread. It's all over the 3-year time window. It's not that condensed. It's more spread. But however, in the less condensed fashion, we can show that in this between the two blue lines, the volume is significantly larger than the rest of the time window. Next, please. So this is consistent with the volume, the time series. Above is just the graph we showed on the last slide. This one is the time volume. You see that in this time period, the volume seems to be high, and in this time period, the volume seems to be high. Next. And that's about, we have covered the main part of the data analysis. We have encountered some lessons when we're programming. The first one is separated compilation. It's very neat. We separate out the HPP, CVP, and namespace into five files. So in doing this way, it makes our program very neat. Once we're going to change something or update something, we can very quickly to find where we're going to change. And the second one is TXT file type matters. That's a big problem we encountered when we face the core dump. At first, we can't read the data from the TXT file. And later on, one night, I changed some data in the TXT file and put it into the Excel, and the output extracted from the Excel. Suddenly, it doesn't work. It cannot run. So every time I run it, it core dump, segment default, segment fault. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I go to the program, I comment almost all of it, and it seems that there's in the input file that Professor Han presented us, there is a address leak, the storage leak, and we check it again and again. I will search on the internet to see what happens, but it doesn't work. Last night, Sherry comes to me and said, "Why don't you change it to some file? Maybe the file is wrong." I said, "No, that's not possible. This file will just get out from Excel." And she's told me, "When I try it." So we tried from the original data. It works. That's impossible. But here, we have no idea why the TXT files of the 2 days are different, but they are different. I don't know why in the base of the computation why they're different, but they are different. But the conclusion is that the TXT file really matters when you are input the data from the file. The third one is call by reference helps. If you notice that the percentile, when we calculate the percentile, we just input the percentile number and the structure array, and we want what we want it out. We want it out the sorted structure array and the data, which is more than the 75%. What we also want the percentile number. But we output a structure array, and we also want a number. How we do that? Sherry recommended a way to call it by the call by reference. Yes, here it is. Here's the yes. Here's perp number, call by reference. So we change the perp number. Perp number does not contribute to the calculation, but it is changed in the function. So when it's out, the percentile number is calculated automatically. So the fourth lesson we learned from the program is that move forward slowly is faster. Don't push yourself I want to do it. I want to do all of these tonight, but it's slow because once the program messed out, you have no idea what happened. You have to start over again and over again. So it's sometimes frustrating. So move forward slowly and write some lines and test it. Run some, test it. That's I think the fastest way to program. And next, I'm gonna give a very brief introduction of the option interface we created for the project. This is the structure of our option HPP file. it's described as structure because we implement all the functions and like interface, like all the talk between the functions into a CPP file. So we have I think all of you maybe does also do the same thing. Constructor, accessor, mutator, and the calculation of methods, the breaks, price. And I think we do something differently is that we overload the operator this interaction one because because we do not have the output function. We overload this operator to output our class. Once we overload this operator, we can output our class variables, just like see out some double or int. It's very convenient. And the private variables is like the price, stock price. It's just the basic parameters in the Black-Scholes model. And the breaks, delta, gamma, theta, gamma, theta, vega, and the helping variables d1, d2 in the Black-Scholes framework. And so we have like 6 helping functions, data validation. One is like the price, stock price, interest rate is negative. The program stops, and then it exists automatically. And finally, we have summarized some ways to development. Next, please. The first one is when we program the stock price, the main function we have to write very, very long. At that time, we find that we maybe need a higher level of encapsulation to make the main function shorter. So that's one development. And second one is the file input and output. In our case, is not very convenient. If you check the book, it's Absolute C++. There's a chapter 9. There's a stream IO chapter talks a lot about how to read a file using a stream in Chinese specifically to input and output the data. So, and Professor Han uses a very fancy method to use the file and use a pointer to call the function, to call the file. I think that's one way we should further go down. And the third one is draw graphs in Excel. As you said, I think some of you draw the graphs in the MATLAB, and we draw the graphs in Excel. But I heard someone from the industry that they used the API, which is the application programming interface, like they are combine some MATLAB or some other application of the C++ with the C++. You are in the C++ and you call the function to draw the graphs with you. So I think that's one way to so if we implement our program, we can draw the graphs during the program running. We do not extract data and draw the graphs in Excel or MATLAB. That's another way we should go down. And the last and the next one is interface should be more flexible. As you just said, as I run our program, it just type the enter, and it goes down, goes down, goes down. I think a more fancy or convenient run is that every time I can stop that, I can choose different entrance of the program. I can choose to stop the program. I can choose whatever I want. That's a more professional and fancy and convenient way to run the program. And I think our program has a lot of rooms to develop. So I put in others. So that's all about. You have a question about it?